Hello and welcome to the channel. I thought it was time for a review of my Bulova Lunar Pilot, which I purchased at the end of July last year. Bulova was originally formed by Joseph Bulova in 1875, and they have a rich history of innovation, quality and reliability. During the 1960s, their Accutron tuning fork watches were groundbreaking and were the most accurate mass-market watches available. Unfortunately for Bulova, in little more than a decade, tuning fork movements were superseded by Seiko's quartz technology, which is more accurate and cheaper to manufacture, and Bulova stopped selling Accutrons in 1977. Bulova is now a subsidiary of the Citizen Watch Group. So, let's do the wrist check. Today I'm wearing my Omega Speedmaster Date Automatic with the silver grey sunburst dial and the black subdials. A truly gorgeous piece that I'm proud to have in my collection. I might even get around to reviewing it eventually. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, I'm wearing this piece today because I'm going to be reviewing a moon watch that isn't an Omega Speedmaster. So why not wear an Omega Speedmaster that isn't a moon watch, eh? The history of this watch dates back to 1971 and the Apollo 15 moonshot. Commander Dave Scott was given a prototype Bulova chronograph and he took it to the moon. While he was there, the crystal popped off his NASA-issued Omega Speedmaster, so he ended up having to wear his spare watch, the Bulova chronograph, during one of his excursions on the lunar surface. When he returned to Earth, he placed the watch in a safe deposit box, where it stayed until 2015, when it was auctioned and sold for a whopping $1.6 million. A great story for sure, but if I was the cynical type, which of course I'm not, I might be tempted to ask how much Bulova paid him. Anyway, moving swiftly on, my watch is the bracelet version. They also do a commemorative version in a presentation box, which comes on a leather strap with a spring bar tool and a replica NASA EVA strap. Unfortunately, the two watches are incompatible because the holes for the spring bars in the lugs on the bracelet version are in a different position to the holes on the strap version. Why Bulova did this? Your guess is as good as mine. So there's no getting away from the fact that this is a big watch. It's a bit of a monster, actually. So let's start with the dimensions, shall we? We have a width of 45 millimeters. We have a thickness of 13.5 millimeters. We have a lug-to-lug of 52.5 millimeters. And we have a lug width of 20 millimeters. Okay, so let's talk about this watch for a while. I really like its old school retro aesthetic. And also there are features on here which I like a lot. Like you've got this massive oversized crown, and I think that suits the watch a lot, and also makes it very easy to set the time, etc. You've got these delta wing style pushers which are very unusual, but they also are very practical. They work extremely well, and they've got a nice action to them. What else? The case. I love this silky, smooth, very finely bead blasted finish, and I also quite like the almost complete lack of an external bezel. You've just got this little chimney pot style bezel with the crystal just poking out the top. I like that. So the bezel of the watch is actually internal and appears to be stuck to the underside of the crystal. So you've got your tachometer scale bezel there, like that. Also, this dial appears to be multi-layered. So if we try and shine a light on it, we'll try and get it a look. Yeah, now you can see. So you've got this raised platform, and then you've got a sunken minute track around the edge, and the sunken subdials, and the indices are stuck to the raised platform, and then you have the tachometer scale at a higher level attached to the underside of the glass. So the whole thing, it's got a really quite fascinating, visually fascinating three-dimensional effect, which is very cool. The bracelet is also very high quality. These are solid links, solid end links, and it's got this really nicely machined butterfly clasp. And on the back here, you have this commemorative text, which has got the date of the Apollo 15 moonshot and the area where they landed. It's all very nicely done, and you know, quite unexpected on an affordable watch. So you know, you're definitely getting your money's worth here. The original version of this watch had a mechanical movement, but this recreation has a battery-powered quartz movement. Some people might find that objectionable. However, this is no ordinary 15-second-a-month quartz movement. It's a high-frequency precisionist movement, which Bulova states is accurate to within plus or minus 10 seconds a year. Mine is performing well within that and has been regularly gaining 1 second every 2 months since I've owned it. This is great, and it means that I only bother to adjust it when I have to adjust the date after a short month. It should also be noted that the original version of this watch did not have a date complication either, so I think that the new version is definitely an upgrade while still retaining the look and style of the original. The subdial at the bottom of the dial displays the seconds. The hand ticks at twice per second. Presumably Bulova have done this to save power, because precisionist movements in other models are known for the smooth sweep of their second hand, but they're also known for their short battery life. However, we can see the smooth sweep of the second hand if we start the chronometer. So the subdial on the right is displaying tenths of a second. After 30 seconds, that'll stop, but it carries on going internally. And so when you actually stop the watch, it'll then move the hand to the position that it would have been if it had kept going. So let's just wait till we get to 30 seconds. Now you can see it's stopped. If I now stop the watch, then the tenth of a second hand moves to where it should be. Quite clever, that, really. I think that's there to save power. And then we'll just reset the watch. There we go. So there you have it. Okay, so let's talk about the negatives. This watch is an absolute monster. I can get away with wearing it, but only just. And I can only get away with wearing it because I've got a massive 7 3/4 inch wrist. On most people, this is going to be far too big. I can't imagine why Bulova made it this big. If they'd have made it 42 mil instead of 45, they'd have probably sold a lot more of them. Also, you know, don't they realise that the trend for big oversized watches is rapidly going out of fashion? So anyway, I think that's a bit of a shame, because you know, there are many other people like the person I bought this watch off who would love to be able to wear it but can't because it's far too big. Anyway, there's also the weight issue. So let's have a look, shall we? Just zero this. Here we go. So that's 179 grams. So 6 1/4 ounces. I mean, you're heading for half a pound in weight, which is crazy for a wristwatch. So I think they could have done better there. Also, there's the loom. It's not really that good. So that would be another negative. And then there's the water resistance rating on this watch. Isn't that good either? So it's got a water resistance rating of 50 meters, whereas my Speedmaster, they've managed 100 meters now. Still, they're minor complaints really, and I think you're probably getting a lot of watch for the money with this watch. Apart from the sapphire crystal and the quality build, you're getting a date complication and chronograph functions. So I think it's pretty good value for money overall. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I hope you can forgive me for waffling on, but I am a big fan of this watch. So why not give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the review, or leave a comment in the comment section below. Are you thinking of buying one of these? Do you own one? You could also let me know if you want me to review this. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one.